Okay, friends, welcome back to part 4 of our Altered Book series, Altered Book August, but you could do this any month of the year. So today I am going to be adding a few things to our books, of course. I'm going to start with some, I call them flippy tips, but a tip in or a flip out. I think in the community we might use them interchangeably, those terms. But let's go ahead and get started. Here I have, this is my favorite cardstock, premium cardstock. It is Brutus Monroe. And so I'm using the color Cabbage and the color Tropical Waters. They are not exact matches, but they're going to do just fine. And I also have a piece of my go-to white cardstock, which is 110-pound exact index by Nina. This is always linked in the description if you want to check it out. Make sure if you look at the Amazon affiliate links that you check the price history graph that they have, because those are very handy. If you don't need something right away, just sit on it, think about it until the price adjusts to your liking. Well, you know what I mean. So the first thing I have to do is, first thing I'm going to do is measure. Just leave that here for now. These pages, look at this fantastic new ruler I got from Emmeline Darlene on Vamp. So good. So I was trying to find the marks. That's funny. So this is about 8 1/4 by about 4, under 4.5, but I would go 4 1/4 because we don't want it shoved. You don't want too many things shoved into the fold, because it impedes the progress of the fold. There are some instances where we have to put some washi tape or some paper or something here to reinforce the seam. But if you can, just whenever possible, try not to put too much, shoved up into the seam. So I said 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Okay. 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. Oftentimes I will write those things down. Put them next to me so I don't forget. 8. So this will be fairly easy then. My pages are 8.5. So I need to take off 1/4 on each of them. These are really thick, so these have to be, I would say, at least 100 pounds, or maybe if they're cover stock, then yeah, they might be cover stock. Anyway, let's see. So I'm going to cut each one down separately instead of stacking them. And then my other measurement was 4 1/4. So that would be 8 1/2. So I'm going to cut these down to 8 1/2. Let's get out our little arm here. So let's see. Eight and a half. Not quite sure what you can see there, but I'm gonna hold on to these for now. When I'm working on a project, I always keep all of the offcuts together with the project in case they come in handy, and then I kind of sort through them after the fact to determine what is what I might keep and what I might get rid of. I think I might have done that the wrong way. Did I do that the wrong way? No, they seem the same. Okay. Set these aside. Now I'm going to grab my scoreboard, and I want to make sure that I have the 8 1/2 side across the top. If you have seen my Teflon bone folder, please ask it to come home. So there is 8 1/2. So I'm going to do this at 4 1/4. This particular scoreboard also has the measurements on this side. So I can check those out. And 4 1/4. All right, fold and burnish. These are, like I said, they're very they're very thick and sturdy. So I'm just gonna go a little slow so they don't crack necessarily. Just gonna loosen up those fibers a little bit. I'm also trying to not hit the camera, so. See? I'm not sure if you can see that, but this mark on colored cardstock that you get from this type of bone folder is common. Especially I use a lot of black cardstock in some of my projects, and so that's why a Teflon bone folder makes a big difference. Let's see if it does it for this one. A little bit for that one, but it's not, I think the color, like the pigment isn't as dark or saturated, so you can't really see it as much, but I definitely see a line right there. I mean, it's not a big deal. Most of the time I'm going to cover it up anyway, but you know how those types of things make a difference when you're trying to create something as a gift for someone else, or you know, something that you're going to sell. So let's get to this. Okay, so a couple choices here. This is going to flip out, so there'll be room for whatever. You can cover it now if you like, if that's easiest, or you can just glue it in. I'm just going to glue it in. I have space on both sides. I just want to make sure that I cover up the text on both sides. Excuse me. Let's get some glue. Now for this one, we are also going to make a hidden pocket. I mean, we might unhide it by sticking something out of it, but let's try. This feels like a lot of glue. So now we have a pocket here. Put another one here. Use the white piece here. Same thing. You can also, you know, make it a little wider and glue it to the side. Let's see. I could work within the frame also, or try to. Okay. I did have some thinner cardstock that was in more of a teal color, just a little bit off from this, but I thought that it would be good to have all of these added in flips, the same kind of weight. Okay, there's that. Again, I do this part and I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to put in here or on here. This could just all be lined paper that you cover it with so it can be used for journaling. It could be added photo corners in a rectangle or added just mats for photos. So I think about that as you're working along. That one's done. Let's grab Pinky here. So this one I'm going to do 8 again. 8 1/4. Let's try 5 1/4 this time so we can give that whole page kind of look. Oh, so 5 1/4. I just did the math in my head and realized I didn't need to pull out the arm. 5 1/4 and 5 1/4 is 10 1/2, and this is 11 tall. So we're just going to cut off 1/2 inch here. And I'm going to see if I have any pink that's close to either one of these colors. So I found 4 pinks in my stash. Oh, look, 5. None of them really match this. This is more of like a carnation pink. And I have, these are all I have. I keep my cardstock in these shop ticket holders. I think that's what they're called, but they're really sturdy, and they are maybe 12 inches by 10. Anyway, maybe something matches this, the lettering close. Not this one. Not quite sure why I have so much of that super bright pink. But I'm sure I needed it for something. So now when I look at this, it looks more mauvey. I'm just going to stick with the white. Okay. Whoops. Okay. 8 1/4. 10.5. Of course, if you don't have a scoreboard, you can just fold these in half by hand. But, well, I guess I'm doing this by hand, but without a scoreboard. I don't know why I stacked them. So this is the longer, it's going to be 5.5. Wait, 5.25, right? 10.5. So 5.25. All right, let's get these in here. So let's see. This is the point at which some of the pages that I left in because I liked the color or the imagery gets covered up anyway. So, oh, I see. He made a drum. I was very confused for a second. Put one here. This is probably going to need some work though, so. We'll be doing some seam work in the next part 5. There we go. This is the same thing, only it is longer. So I didn't say it earlier, but you want to use a wet glue for this. Anytime you're making something that turns out to be a pocket, it is ideal to have, adjusting here. It's ideal to have, to use wet glue. If you use a glue stick, it's likely that it will become brittle over time and dried and crack, pull apart easily. I guess it probably does have to do with the type of glue stick you're wearing. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna leave it in. It might have to do with the type of glue stick you're using. But if you tried to use a tape runner, like a tape runner would be good for this page, but if you want a pocket in here, you don't want to have tape here because that tape is always going to be tacky. So if you shove something in there accidentally and jam it in between the tape and the paper, then it'll stick. So that's why we use the wet glue. So here we have our page again with our pockets.
Okay, switching back to our green book.
For this book, I keep staring at this page, and I decided that I am going to glue it together. This page is an end page. It's already a little sturdier than this page, but let's see, we're going to do the full page. So I want to do, so this is very kind of normal for me to go through and identify pages and glue pages together and then realize the next time I sit down that there might be a few more pages that I want to glue together or some more pockets that I want to make. So you definitely, it's not linear. And I know people who do altered books that start from the beginning. They start from the front page and they just work their way through to the end. I feel much better about that. See, now I can't even see it. Okay. So we've got these papers in. First thing I want to do is I just took a page. Let's see. I folded it. Let's see, I want it about from the top of this book or this bed. Try to get it straight, but we're going to cut it anyway. It's the most simple pocket. Just going to fold it here. Let's see. I want to inset a little bit, so let me fold it all the way at least up to that mark. I'm just eyeballing it. I just want to get the majority of this picture in here. Now, just going to glue here. And glue here and here. I'm just going to cut. I think I'll do it this way. That's that. So I think I'll put it inside and I'll make it a double pocket, of course. I'm going to glue it on 3 sides. Just in case you want that extra pocket space for some reason. Oops. Let's see. Move that guy out of the way. Removing the trash can. Next, I took one of the pages that that I did the doodling on. Fold it in half, and then I fold it up like this. So this is this part of the page right here. And I'm going to take this one and another one that I did the same way, only this page was cut down just a little bit more. Just fold on an angle, just wherever you feel. And we're going to glue these in here as little pockets. Now you can play with however you want these to sit in your book. Do want that kiddo to show though, so. Okay, I think that's that. It's gonna go right there. First, let's glue this down. Only need to glue the one side. And if you don't like the seam, then you can create a seam on the back side rather than on the side. Let's see. There we go. Looks good. One here, line of glue here, line of glue here. Just right about there. Put some glue down at the bottom here. Great. And this one, just about the same thing. Offset just a little bit. Let's see. If you really want to get the same angle, you can line them up here and fold them. I'm just going to do the same thing. Just going to do a line of glue here, one down at the bottom, and one up towards the top. See how this one I folded on two sides rather than just folding in half, so that I would get the middle of the page and you don't see the end of the page. I hope that made sense. Maybe up higher? Maybe up higher. You see how decisive I am? I'm also trying to look through the camera and the tripod, so just gonna get a little bit more glue right here. A little bit right at the top here. So you have a number of different spots that you can use as pockets and tucks now. Here, 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 there, there, you know, all the places. There's that page. And so one other thing we wanted to do here. But you can see it is shaping up This one, I have another one of these pockets. You can say I folded it on two sides. Just folded it in half at a random place, a random angle. And let's see. I think I'll be putting it here. I know she's upside down, but that's okay. I should have got my clips out. And just right here. I have a couple of these pages here. Now one is one of the inked papers, or actually this is a painted paper. And then I cut it down, but I didn't cut it with a trimmer. I just cut it with the scissors, which I usually don't do, but I'm liking it. So I'm going to come in here, just cover one of these with this one. I'm not really I guess I was going to say I'm not really being too methodical about it, but I wanted it to have just a little all the way around, a little framing. So even though it's super crooked. And then this one is the little house with the squirrelies. It's definitely a different story. I'll put that one here as well. It's covered up though. I really like the way that belly band looks. So here is an inked page. I cut this page with pinking shears on both sides. I'm just going to fold it, and that's going to make a little pocket. And I will also be adding a second pocket in the back. This is why I said not to worry too much about how you're inking things in the second step, just because this whole half a page is covered up. I'm going to go a little high with this one. And then I have this painted paper. I'm just going to lay this in here. And put it at a wonky angle if you want. Trying to see it, like it looks like we're gonna need to put something in there, but not today. That's for a later time. And there's that. And this is also why I said that you can just take the book and paint right in it if you like. It is definitely hard to work on a book though where you have to paint 1 or 2 pages and then let it sit until you can, paint more pages, if that makes sense. You can't really assembly line it when you have to wait for the pages to fully dry. That's why I use the pages that I pull out, because I could do a bunch of them and lay them out to dry all at the same time. So that's it for this one. If you have any questions about this, please be sure to let me know. Don't forget to hit the thumb and check out the playlist if you want to see the entire series. Thanks so much for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.